welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. We were discussing the subtleties of the differences between Boston and New York accents. I don't know the difference. Yeah, hi. We're playing Impossible Landscapes tonight, which is a relatively new campaign for Delta Green. So new that I don't even think there's physical copies yet. I think they're still working on those, so we're playing off the PDFs. But we are in part 2 of 4. I don't know, maybe midway through it-ish, kind of, sort of. We'll see how it goes. Like, you never know. I mean, things go crazy. We had a weird start to it, but yeah. Other things we do here, we play on Mondays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Fridays tend to be Delta Green. Saturdays tend to be Worlds Without Number, though we're going to be off tomorrow for the holiday weekend. And then on Monday, we'll be back playing Things from the Flood. Yeah. You can also catch some of us elsewhere tomorrow during the day. You can catch Melissa and I over on the Defenders of Cobalt channel as we play through Forbidden Lands. And on Sunday night, I'll be over on Steam Still Murder playing Shadowrun. So lots of different games. But enough about what I do. Let's speak to these poor schmucks that are on the screen. Go ahead and introduce who your character is and that kind of stuff. Just something interesting about them really quick. So Ashley, who are you?
I am playing Agent Chelsea. Something interesting about her is that her new job is she cleans up crime scenes. Like just terrible, awful homicides.
Excellent. I too play a character who has a crime scene cleanup crew in a Shadowrun game, actually. Yeah. Chuck's my employee. It's great. Awesome. Let's keep it going. Long, who are you?
Yeah, I'm playing Agent Vessel, now a bar owner.
And the name of your bar was like Miles Viles, right?
Viles.
Yeah.
Miles Viles.
He came up with that on the spot. Like, whatever, shut up.
And you have a twin sister, right?
Yeah, she's a little stranger now, doing her own thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you used present tense. That was deliberate, wasn't it?
I like it though. I like the paranoia. You're really like when we do our post look back show, there's gonna be so many things that we're gonna talk about. You're gonna be like, oh shit, I totally should have paid attention to that. Like, yo. But no, it's gonna be fun. I am a great boss to good employees, to bad employees, named not named Steven, but his character is never mind. We're getting off topic. Forget about it. Just tune in on Sunday night.
Scout.
Steve Steele Murder. I totally forgot what Scout's name was. That's what I was trying to cover. But yeah, anyway. Bottom row. Derek, who are you playing?
Yes, so I'm Agent Album. Something interesting about me is that I commune to other people through dirt.
Yeah, we'll get to that somewhere in a second. If you've not watched this before, first of all, you're jumping ahead. You might want to go catch up on our YouTube page because this is a campaign, lots of spoiler stuff. But yeah, we had a weird moment where
weird is not the word I would use.
Yeah,
just
I mean everything.
Life-altering, just 1,000-yard stare into the void.
Oh.
You're just remembering it now?
No, I thought Derek meant like he goes out to the forest and just grabs some dirt.
No,
nope. Talking about the cell phone.
And did we establish
Album
this?
discovered his whole life is a lie. He's just a pawn on the chessboard.
Oh man, there you go.
Oh no.
And then finally,
Melissa,
who are you?
So I am Agent Fawn. I started the game with absolute shit alertness, and so I just keep trying alertness and failing alertness, and I'm all the way up to 32.
That's cool because that's
trying.
your level of alertness is very near to your level of sanity, so that's pretty great.
This is very true. 32 and 37.
I know, yeah.
Yikes.
Which one do you think is going to be higher after the end of tonight?
I feel like by the time she passes an alertness test, she'll just die of sanity loss or whatever happens when you lose too much.
Ashley, you should figure out how to do one of those like prediction things. Will Fawn's alertness or sanity be higher by the end of the night? Something like that. I'm gonna go alertness because it's gonna get crazy. So let's dive into the recap. So I won't do the whole thing, but it's 2015. This is the second operation that these 4 agents have worked on together. There's been a 20-year gap in between those 2 operations. The first one was Operation Alice in 95, in which they ended up burning down a building when searching for the disappearance of a missing artist named Abigail Wright.
Burning down's kind of mildly putting it.
That's true. Fair enough. Where they exploded a building in a half. and killed many, many people, destroyed many things, and they're still looking for the brownstone bomber. But we'll cover that later. But it's 2015. They're all in their 50s. They all were contacted and asked to come to, invited to Boston. So they came to Boston, and they met with their new handler by the name of Agent Exeter, who gave some of you kind of, the creeps a little bit. He kind of smelled like motor oil. He was crinkling while he moved. He had kind of this lost look on his face, and he wasn't the most forthcoming person in the world. He didn't lie necessarily, or didn't withhold, but he didn't volunteer information. He assigned you Operation India Moon, where he described how 4 patients from the Dorchester Psychiatric Facility went missing, and that you're kind of looking for them. But they went missing because they went into the hospital. This is something I think I was talking about with Melissa. I'm like, I think we haven't really reiterated this enough. Is that it's operatives. They were operatives that went missing, because if you recall, hopefully you all do, you probably do, I might have just forgotten to mention it, that they came in contact with a book during an investigation, remember? And a book said to have unnatural properties, and then you all were directed to that if you came across any sort of occult books, you're told, don't read it. Contact immediately, don't read it. And so you guys got a business card for the head doctor at the Dorchester facility. You met with him. A few of you did. One of you was in jail at the time, but the rest of you did. You found a watch in his desk drawer that had a weird message on it. The numbers were replaced with letters, and there was an engraving that was only mildly made sense. One of the patient rooms had a strange message that referenced Abigail Wright. You met with many members of the staff. Nurse Samagina, she gave you a tour of the facility. You met with one of the guys who works security, one of the orderlies, who kind of showed you some of the video that kind of got all fuzzy when around the time in which the people disappeared. You met with orderly Bryce, and you tailed him. You started digging into some of the patient or some of the staff at the hospital, starting with Bryce. And Vessel met Bryce's mom. Totally stood her up. Thought she was going to get a new person sitting at her table, but instead he found that there was a mummified child in the gym bag of orderly Bryce for reasons. Chelsea, on the other hand, had a far different experience as she was in jail, having seen supposedly a door appear in her hotel room from which a figure emerged, and she shot at that figure and then was kind of suffering a fugue state. She got arrested, but was gotten out in strange ways by some kind of lawyer, maybe, and some kind of cop who then later possibly, who knows?
Maybe a demon.
Maybe a demon?
Marionette.
Who knows? Wandered the streets of Boston looking for anything, Taco Bell, and eventually found a hotel room. Oh, did she? She got to the 6th floor of the Boxer Hotel, where as you guys were going over your evidence, you started realizing the number 616 was coming up a lot. It was the number that you had to dial to get your satellite phone to connect to whoever it is you were talking to. It was the area code of the number of the lawyer who got Chelsea out, and various other places. And you realized that Chelsea was in room 618. And next door, there was no 616. But as you guys were moving around, suddenly room 616 appeared magically in the hotel, in the Boxer Hotel. You also went through some of your other evidence. You found a pamphlet that had the yellow sign on it in a weird cryptic message. That was a support group. You cracked open the satellite phone that you used to request help for Chelsea, that you talked to somebody album on the phone, and when you broke it open, there was dirt and sand and rocks, a vial with a leaf that you tried to identify but couldn't, and a tiny golden bug, among other things. So much stuff happened. So we're going to go ahead and start. It's 2:30 in the morning on Friday, September 4th. We're picking up right where we left off. I want to know where everybody is, because we've got 2 hotel rooms on the 6th floor. One of them is room 618, that's Chelsea's, and one is down the hall, and that's Fawn's.
Yeah, I believe I'm right outside
Okay.
616 I just found.
So I got Vessel
Yeah.
immediate. So all of you are in the hallway.
Well,
Exactly.
no,
Well,
Fawn and
no.
I were in the room.
Okay.
Yeah, I was with
Correct.
them because we all tried, because I had tried to call the front desk and just tried the coded message of "Have you seen the king?" and or
Mhm.
yellow sign or something, and then Fawn did something else, and Chelsea.
I
was
tried
with
to
us.
dial 616
You
Oh,
try
yeah.
the
and
dial.
see
there.
if it.
Yep. Okay. So let me get my notes over here. All right. So two of you are so Vessel in the hallway, Album, Fawn inside. Chelsea, where'd you say you were again? I'm sorry.
I was still in the room.
Okay, so the three of you are in the room. Vessel, you're outside. It's only a handful of feet away, the doors themselves. So it's 2:30 in the morning. You just found a door that wasn't there a moment ago. It matches the room number. The number of the room matches the number that you had to call on the satellite phone and a few other things. Now, looking at this this door, it's a little different. You can tell immediately, Vessel, that there is a keyhole here where all of the other doors on the floor, including Chelsea's, including Fawn's, require a key card, like a modern day key card. This one actually has like an old-fashioned doorknob with an actual keyhole in it, which is a little bit different. If you try it, I'm just going to give you the benefit that you try it. It's locked. What are you guys doing?
I'll call out to whoever can hear me. Might want to check this out.
Go out in the hall. What's up?
Oops, sorry about that. So yeah, anybody who hasn't seen it already, you now see there is room 616 right next to Chelsea's room. Now, Fawn, you've had a rough day as well. You spent some of it away from the rest of the group and everything, but eventually you finally got some sleep. Took a while, but you do in fact see that there's this other door here, and it looks different. It definitely looks different than the door that your own room is to, and same with Chelsea.
I would start searching my room for like a key.
Okay, roll search.
Are there any unique markings on the door or anything? Symbols, anything like that?
This resolve the search. You search, you kind of go through everything. You find no evidence of a mechanical key of any kind. There is... You see a keyhole instead of a lock, but otherwise it looks just like all the other doors, more or less. The same sort of like mauve type coloring to the door. Nothing else to it. You don't see any symbols or anything on it.
Album's gonna look at Vessel and say, how did you make this appear?"
I didn't make it appear. It appeared before me.
When I told you that a door appeared in my room, something like this happened. And yet y'all are over here thinking, Chelsea's gone crazy. She's totally gone off her rocker.
Have you
Yeah.
tried opening it?
Okay.
It was locked
Before
in.
wait. Yeah, before we try that, let's like make sure we've got our stuff with us. Maybe.
What stuff?
I don't know, anything, like just our bags, anything to have something with us.
You guys want to go in
You remember
the
last
door?
time?
I don't want to go in, but
We should go in. So Fawn will just go back and just grab her bag for
Sure.
whatever having some like
Yeah, that's fine.
Can I go search Fawn's room?
Yeah, she lets you, which I assume you will. Carrying, I mean, like you can. What are you searching for specifically?
I'm looking for a key.
Okay. Roll search again.
3.
Yeah, unless Fawn has. Fawn, do you have any like house keys or car keys or anything in your room set up? Maybe in a drawer, nightstand, something like that.
I mean, I can imagine that I probably would have some keys on me since I just grabbed my bag.
Yeah, so you find
yeah.
a couple keys, but like they're quickly Like Fawn quickly points him out, like that's to my car, that's to my apartment, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So you don't find anything that isn't attached to a keychain that Fawn already has.
Oof. Okay.
While they're doing that, I'll see if I can like pick it open.
Okay. So do you have craft? Do you have any special training in lockpicks? Do you have craft locksmith?
No, I don't think I have that.
Okay, so go
I was
ahead.
thinking like criminology. I don't know if that.
No, that wouldn't really apply here, but you can still roll it at plus 20%. So it's basically a 1 in 5 chance. So just roll D100 and you got to hit 20 or under if you want to just try to pick it without any specialized training.
I got 3.
Look at this. So yes, you while Chelsea and Fawn are down the hall, you gonna kneel down, pull out whatever you might have. Maybe you have you might even just have a lock picking kit, just because it's maybe standard issue for hostage rescue or something like that. And you still keep it. But as you mess around with it, you hold down, push. You hear a click. You turn the handle. Do you push the door open?
Yeah. I'll open it.
Okay, so you open the door. As you push the door open, you can see immediately it is a hotel room. You can see that from the actual, I'm not going to say you're in yet, but you can see 2 double doors, or excuse me, 2 double beds. You can see a fold-out couch. It looks like there's a flat screen television on a dresser. A couple lamps here and there. Bathroom off to the side right when you come in. Curtains are drawn on the far end of the room. They're kind of closed at this point. So that's what you see just looking
So
in,
look
and
like
that's
the
just
other rooms.
What's that?
Does it look like the other rooms that we've been staying in?
Yeah, more or
question.
less. Just from the, I mean, again, you're standing in the hallway. I'm assuming you hit the light switch on the inside just so you can see without going in. That's just vaguely what you see. And it looks just like any of the other hotel rooms that you think you've seen.
I think it's worth checking out, Albo.
Possibly, but if we're gonna do it, we should all do it together, because if we get separated, who knows what's gonna happen.
Like 1, 2, 3, jump all at the same time through the threshold.
We'll say, unless Melissa and Ashley think otherwise. At this point, we can say that the 2 of you, because you were going to just retrieve stuff, Fawn.
Yeah.
So at this point, you 2 could come down the hallway, and you see the door open, and Vessel having just picked it, with a very proud look on his face.
Come on, now I'm gonna check this out.
And what's our plan if the door disappears and we're stuck in this room?
Shutting the door.
I don't.
Our
We
way
have
back.
one.
Okay, so we're all good. This could be potentially a one-way trip.
Fawn wants to see if there's a vending machine
Okay.
on the floor,
No, there is.
and I want to see if there's like a packet of sunflower seeds or something
Sure.
in the vending machine.
We'll see. Why not? Yeah.
And I'll grab a bottle of water and a packet of sunflower seeds.
Oh, there's no water. No, I'm just kidding. It's fine. Yeah.
Just in case this ends up being more than one room.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. You guys are still standing out in the hallway, looking into this room.
I come armed with water and breadcrumbs,
She
essentially.
seems ready, so I'll just walk in.
Okay. You go inside, and you get a little better look. You can see that there's a bit of an overhead light that came on. There's an air conditioner. Curtains are drawn, like I said. Looks like there is like floral wallpaper on the walls that kind of matches the layout that you've seen before. Turn the light on in the bathroom really quick. Take a peek in. It's gleaming white, like just bright white. New towels. Got a little broidered bee on them. You can see that there's a bunch of new sealed soaps that you would expect to see. And bags around some of the cups and things like that. Looks and smells like it's been freshly cleaned. Yeah, and you step in. There's a dresser, standard furniture you've seen everywhere. As he walks in, you guys watch Vessel go inside.
Does the window match where we would expect there to be a window?
Yeah.
Fawn would prefer someone else look out the window, given the last time she looked out a window in a building.
Chicken.
I'm in the room, so I'll open the curtains.
Okay, so you walk over to the curtains. You draw them open, and you are met with a plain wall, no window. It looks like the exact same floral wallpaper pattern that you see elsewhere in the room.
Peel at it. By the way, Chelsea's gonna I'm gonna stand in the doorway, to keep the door open.
Thank you for those bits, Dead Poet. 1983. You guys got a reroll. You can use at some point.
Nice.
Appreciate that.
Spend some time searching the room up then.
Okay. Is there any particular place that you would prefer to search, or anything like that?
No, not particularly.
Okay.
Searching.
So Vessel, you should start moving around. Vessel, do you have forensics?
I do.
I would hope so.
What's it at? That's
Yeah,
why
it's at 30.
It's at 30. Okay. All right. What are the rest of you doing as you guys see Vessel go inside? Start searching around.
Album's gonna search the bathroom, look
Okay.
at everything, every bit of thing in there.
Sounds good. Just turning off the die sound. It always freaks me out when I'm not expecting. I'm like, okay, so Album, you're in the bathroom. Vessel, you're somewhere else in the room. Chelsea and Fawn, what are you two doing?
Is the ceiling the commercial building tile ceiling?
Yeah, you look up and it matches the ceiling in your room, ceiling in Chelsea's room. It's got same overhead light location that you've seen elsewhere.
Is it a solid ceiling, or is it
It's a
one where you
solid.
can pop the tiles? Okay.
No, it's a solid ceiling.
Okay.
No, it's not like commercial building. It's a hotel, so.
Okay. So that's what I was looking at initially. What were you looking at, Chelsea?
Well, you can search something. That's just all you have to do is look up for that.
Yeah.
What are you doing for the next few minutes as you're searching?
Someone should hold the door open.
Okay.
Do you want me to do it, or do you want to do it?
You can do it if you want to. That seems like the least sanity-inducing thing to do. I guess I will work on destroying this room and pulling the wallpaper.
Okay. So while this
Like at
is
the
Especially in
Yeah.
the area where because I was expecting there to be a window
Yeah.
where the curtain was, given the layout of Chelsea's room. And so now I want to peel behind that.
Okay. Sounds good. And Chelsea, you're by the front door, holding it open.
Yeah.
guys
Is
start-
there a dresser nearby me, or not too
Not
close?
near the front door, no. I mean,
Okay.
it's in because you have to go in and back, and then there's eventually the beds and stuff. But yeah, there's dressers and tables and things for sure, but not by you. There's really nothing by you, to be honest. There's you can kind of see the bathroom door and a closet door as well. But if you're physically holding the door open, yeah,
Yeah,
you're not
I'm
really
gonna
gonna be able to do
physically
much.
hold the door open.
Okay. So I'll start with Album. As you go and you look into the bathroom, you're just it's this if you hadn't just got off the phone with a hotel clerk at the desk below on the first floor, you would swear that someone had just cleaned this place. It smells wonderful, cleaner, like fragranted cleaner. You go through all of the soaps. You maybe even open up some of the packages and stuff like that. It's all brand name stuff. It's got that same kind of light plastic bag that's wrapped around the rinse cup and things like that you see. Look in the bathtub, completely clean. Tiles clean. You can see that the towels. The only thing that kind of stands out to you is that the towels have this embroidered bee on them. But that's about it. Everything else, it just looks like a pristine looking bathroom, and you pour over it too. You're on hands and knees looking behind toilets and underneath the countertops and stuff, but it just looks It looks quite clean.
What's the name of this hotel?
It's the Boxer Hotel.
Yeah.
So, there's one thing I should also give you credit for, is that there's a wastebasket underneath the sink, and you notice that there's something inside of it. And you look, that it's like a crumpled up like piece of cloth. As you pull it out, you start to unfold it, smooth it out. You notice that it kind of has this smell of wine to it, this kind of scent of wine. You can smell it, and it's noticeable because it's kind of competing with that fragranted soap. And you can see that it's a napkin, and that in the corner of the napkin it says GBR, which you at this point are very familiar with, as the exact same symbol that you saw on the napkins back in 1995 that shouldn't have existed. And it's the exact same symbols that you saw when you were at the Gateway Bridges restaurant a couple days ago when you met with Agent Exeter. Vessel. You have a forensics of 30.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. As you are taking some time to explore the room, you look at the kind of the carpeted area, right, kind of in the middle of the main room, and you notice that there's like the ever so slightest like discoloration, just ever so slight. And you've seen, as you track this discoloration, you see that this fairly large outline of like a slightly darkened area, like it was like a bad stain was here and it was cleaned up, and most of the carpet looks like it was really good, but some of it, like this big almost kidney shaped stain, large, is kind of there. And you notice that, yeah, if your FBI training is kind of kicking in, you wonder if this might be blood. Do you have like a UV? Would you think you would carry like in your little tool bag or something like that? Do you have any like UV light or anything like that?
It could be like a luck roll if you let me.
Yeah, go ahead. I think we could say. I mean, I don't see any reason, considering your FBI. Yeah, you can go ahead and do it, luck roll, I'll say. Okay.
Success.
Yeah, you dig into your bag that has a couple little things in it here and there. You also know that if you would have failed it, I would have said you probably left it at your because when you first got here, you grabbed the storage facility. I would say you maybe left it there, but fortunately you have it on you. And you start shining it around, and it's lighting up, and you have the telltale signs of blood on the ground. If your training tells you anything, there's highly probable that somebody was like bleeding out on the floor. And even though that is kind of alarming, what's really strange, however, is that as you track the blood shining, you turn the lights off maybe, which freaks people out, but you do it. You have to do it, and nonetheless, you follow the track, and it's it looks as though like the body was dragged to the west wall, which is the wall where the curtains are, like well above the air conditioner, which is like hip high on the ground, as if the body was somehow pulled into the wall. You can see that there's like some spray patterns here and there as well, that you would guess might be the like a gunshot spray. And you also notice that the blood can be found on the edges of the curtains, which, if piecing it together, you think that likely the curtains were pulled at the moment, pulled back, opened at the moment of whatever violence kind of transpired here.
I'll let Fawn know because he's by the curtains. The trail ends here. Somehow leads into the wall.
All of you, this is a very small hotel room, by the way. So it's not like this is enormous. It's not like a suite with different rooms and things like that. It's one big room. So like all of you are in very clear earshot of one another. So anything you want to say, you can clearly say to other people.
So I'll stop here because I know Fawn said she was picking at the wall or something.
Okay. Yeah, you're pulling down like the wallpaper, and you're not finding anything behind it. But you go through and you do the whole thing. It takes a little bit of time, but you do it, Fawn.
And as I'm watching kind of what Vessel's doing and seeing where the stain goes, like, am I pulling like at the location where the stains disappear?
Yeah, some of it.
Like, I definitely want to kind of focus my efforts and just be like, what? Like,
Yep.
I don't understand. Like, it should be here. There should be something.
Yeah, there's nothing behind the wallpaper.
At that point, I'm gonna, kind of, like you said, kind of we're all in earshot, and just kind of say to everybody, like, should we go in the wall? Because the stains go in the wall. Should we, like, break it?
You should see if it's like hollow or something first.
Yeah, Album's gonna call through from the bathroom. You can't go through walls, Fawn.
Well, I think our experience may tell us otherwise, because hands can come out of walls and deliver us boxes. So I think
No,
we could.
Fawn, you misunderstand. I mean,
Technically,
you
that was a
specifically.
closet.
Oh,
It opened
Wow.
the door. Which, if there's a closet, we should dig in there.
yes, I definitely agree. You can't doesn't really exist in this universe so much.
That's very true. Okay.
So I'll try the just knocking on the wall and seeing what it sounds like, if it sounds exterior or drywall.
Just sounds like a wall. Yeah, you get some dull spots in between studs, and other places you get more sturdy spots here and there. Nothing suggests to you that there seems to be any kind of hidden doorway. Your arm doesn't magically go through it or anything like that.
So we're not breaking drywall. That we're not.
Not yet, at least, maybe.
Fine.
Roll. I mean, like, if you want, roll a search, and I give you plus 20, Fawn, as you're kind of looking around by this curtained area.
Even with a plus 20, I fail.
Yeah. Okay.
But someday my search is going to be higher than 29.
Can you come take over the door so I can search the closet?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah, you go and you take over the door. You start going through the closet. You see a couple hangers that you would expect to see. You see a little safe that's opened and ready to go on the ground. You see a little ironing board thing that you can kind of fold down. You don't see anything within the closet other than what you would normally expect to see within a hotel closet.
Ironing board, iron,
Standard stuff.
hangers.
Everything kind of checks out as you're going through here.
Can I turn the TV on and see if like the hotel has it registered under some name?
Yeah, you throw the TV on and you get that same kind of like hotel lobby or hotel like interface thing, like where you can like pay for movies, or it can take you to this or take you to that. It's all within the confines if you think within the box or hotel. While you're over here though, you do notice like, it's standing on top of what looks like a kind of a large dresser, handful of drawers, and you can see on the other wall is where the headboards of the beds are, and there's like the nightstand in between. You notice a phone, and I'll say your alertness is high enough to realize that the phone looks different than the phone that's in Chelsea's room. It looks like kind of a little like more old-fashioned in a way. It's like push button in a way. It just kind of looks a little slightly out of place. But it's still like a normal phone, but compared to the ones that you've seen in Chelsea's and Fawn's room, it does look a little dated.
Then I'll go check it out, see if I can like dial another room or the front desk even.
Okay. So you pick up the phone and you dial the front desk, and doesn't seem to ring. Just completely fails. Try to dial like an outside number. Doesn't seem to work. You do notice that like what's your let me see. What's your alertness at? Your alertness is like super high, right?
Yeah, it's 80.
What's your search at?
Search is only 35.
Okay. Still pretty good. One second. Just trying to decide. Okay. As you're over here, like you can see that as you pick up the phone, make the call down to the desk, you make a call, try to do an outside line. None of that seems to work. You don't get a tone or anything like that. You do notice something though, kind of interesting with the lamp that's sitting here. So you look at like there's a little label on it, and this is again, you remember something similar. Like you can see that there's like an on-off button. There's like a USB plug thing and everything like that. Except when you look at the label where that kind of stuff's supposed to be, it says the artist, like two separate lines, like the artist, and then of the original play. Those three phrases, the artist of the original play, is in the spots on the labels for this this lamp that you would expect to see like on off USB plug, that kind of thing.
I'll pick it up and show the others.
Okay.
Can I
Means
start
anything.
searching for more text around the room?
For more what?
Like text, like anything where there would be,
Any other weird labels like that?
yeah,
Okay.
like if there's like books in the nightstand or
Okay. Sure. Yeah. You go through the nightstand, and you don't notice a book inside. You expect to see like Gideon Bible stuff in here, but you don't see it. But you do notice it actually as you bend down to slightly pull open the drawer. You do see like a wastebasket right next to the nightstand, and in it you can see the Gideon Bible is just sitting right there, like inside the bin. Roll a search as you kind of pull it out.
Success.
So as you're flipping through it, about 3/4 look pretty much the way you're kind of occasionally stopping, looking for passages, looking for margin notes, anything that might kind of, as you're flipping through it relatively quickly. It's about 3/4 of the way through the book. In the middle of the page, the writing seems to change. The layout is exactly the same in terms of like how you would expect the layout of a Gideon Bible to look, the multiple columns, etc., the verses, etc., those types of things. However, at a certain point, the content of the writing has changed, and it almost reads like an intelligence report. Like suddenly the text of the Bible with all these different verses and parables and things like that, suddenly it's now an intelligence report. Typeface doesn't change, layout doesn't change, nothing like that. Roll Sand.
Great. Okay. Success.
Okay, you're hanging in. You do notice as you're reading it that some of it is incredibly familiar to you, and you realize that suddenly you have stumbled into reading the French text of Le Roi en Jaune.
Ooh.
What?
As you continue to kind of flip past, maybe jump a couple pages here and there, you start noticing it's also in English. And you see the entirety, like a complete copy of the French Le Roi en Jaune and the English The King in Yellow.
Okay. I'm definitely gonna hold that shut and just gonna be like, you guys just kind of see Chelsea as she's sitting there and she's got like the book and she's opening it and she's like reading it and then she shuts it back again and then she opens it again like a couple times just to like see if it's staying that way or not.
What do you
And,
have?
just a Bible that has the French and English version of The King in Yellow.
Oh, so like it says Bible on the outside, but on the inside is actually those books?
No, it's like partially the Bible, and then it just transitions.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a little weird. We're gonna put this in my backpack.
is that the book that we were supposed to just find and not open if we found it?
Any occult text was
Any
referenced.
occult
Yeah,
text.
is what
Hey, can
Exeter
somebody
told
pass me the remote while I'm just standing over here?
Yeah, chuck it there.
I'm gonna try to put on channel 616.
you. Okay. You try to put on channel 616, and all you basically have is the landing page, like for the interface, and trying to move it to anything else doesn't seem to work. So it's just like got that basic like follow these instructions. If you want to check out which channels we have available, look into your, we have a handout in your nightstand and stuff like that. But whenever you try to move it and follow the instructions, it doesn't seem to go anywhere.
Dial
Okay.
616 already long on the phone.
I have not. I will do as Chelsea suggested.
What was it you said you were doing?
It was dying like star 616.
Okay. You dial star 616, and nothing appears to happen. Just same thing, kind of
Yeah, things are done.
deadline. What's
What
that?
about just
I'll
616?
just tell him it's a duck.
So regular 616 and star 616.
Yeah,
Try
star
both.
616 doesn't work, and 616 doesn't work.
Is there anything inside that phone?
I will point out that you guys, you are in room 616.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
We just, for the sake of thoroughness.
Okay.
So
Make it-
Alvin's gonna come out of the bathroom and he's gonna hold up the napkin that he found with the wine on it
Mhm.
and say, "This is the only thing I could find in there." And then I'm assuming the closet is still open.
Yeah.
So upon seeing the closet open and seeing the iron, he's just gonna like start dismantling the iron to see if there's anything in it. And he's just gonna kind of throw the napkin like toward the group.
Okay. Start dismantling the iron.
We just start giving Fawn all of the evidence that we're finding.
Okay.
We're like, put this in the bag. Can I, since I clean crime scenes,
Sure.
could I investigate like the carpet and stuff further and like the wall?
I don't think you're going to get anything that Vessel hasn't already gotten. So the big reveal is that there
So we
was.
did get it all.
Yeah, there's really like it. Other than the fact that there was a dead body laying on the ground at some point, and it was moved, and it seemed to have been like pushed and moved above the, waist high or hip high, I should say, AC on the wall with the curtains. There's like, yeah, like he kind of covered it all.
Okay.
Are you doing anything else with the phone, Vessel? You're holding in your hand, hoping that 616 rings.
I'll say, what if you take it apart? Make sure it's not growing some shit too.
Yeah, I can give it a shake.
Should I go
That's-
call it from my other room first?
You shake it, and you don't hear. You just hear like the normal, like random stuff moving about in it. Like it doesn't give a lot of sound, but like you do hear like basic gears and switches and stuff kind of slightly shifting around on the inside.
Sounds like just a phone.
Does it have an ear thing to twist off?
Yeah, it's like an old school.
Yeah, like the old school, like you can
Sure.
twist off the.
Break it down. Looks like an actual phone. Yeah, it's definitely an older model phone. Like an early push button style, but it's not one of those like
Rotaries.
really rotary old school ones, but it's definitely push button. But you break it down a little bit, you unscrew the stuff that you can unscrew, and no, it's got the usual bits that you would expect to find within a phone.
And Vessel, did you say there just wasn't a dial tone?
No, it's dial tone. It just
On
doesn't
what?
go out. Like you hear like the standard, but it just doesn't seem to connect to anything.
I'll just bust this lamp open real quick. 'Cause it's the only weird thing. So.
Okay. Bust the lamp open. And inside are a bunch of lamp parts. So you see wires and cables and plaster and stuff from the holding for the lamp.
Nah, there's nothing in this room. That out.
Just to point out, there are dressers and desks and things like that no one's gone in.
I'm waiting my turn.
Okay.
That search would like cover everything.
No, I was just asking what you guys were doing since all four of you in here. What are you doing, Ashley?
Can I search the desk?
Sure. Okay. So yeah, you open up and you find like, well, actually the desk is kind of like a more like a writing desk. However, it's got one little drawer, and you pull it open, and you see that there's a gray plastic key card inside that has a small logo. It's embossed on it that says Imagico, all cap letters. One corner has like this small hole where you think it might be like the type of thing you hook to a belt loop. Rolls. What's your search at?
55.
You also notice that there is one corner of the card is scraped and stained with looks like fragments of red paint.
Is there anything with red paint in this room?
No, you don't see anything like that.
Okay. And you said it said a magic co?
Yeah, Magic O. It's all one word, all caps. It's like a logo.
Sorry, I was looking at chat. Where was that logo?
On the key card.
Which was her key card?
No,
She
it's
found
in
it.
the desk.
She found it in the desk.
Oh, okay, got it in the desk. Sorry, I missed that.
Could I do like a history roll to see if maybe I like recall what this brand is?
Nah, I don't think that would apply here.
No. Okay.
You're welcome to look it up at some point.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't think history would apply here. If you have your
Some
cell
people
phone
don't.
on you, you can always just Google search it and like.
Hell yeah! Could I do that?
Yeah. Your computer science is high enough. You just punch it in. It is a large company. It has an official business site. It produces card keys and locks for prisons, medical facilities, and industrial sites. Is the kind of the quick glance that you get, and a couple other produces a handful of other like kind of plastic products and things like that. But it seems to be known as kind of a key card production company and a lock production company.
Shit. Okay.
So, Vessel, if you're continuing to search around the room, there's a dresser, and then you could probably start unloading. You notice that as you start pulling open the dresser drawers, first drawer, which is this is the thing that the TV is sitting on top of, you find a small leather valise.
Oh, that what?
Valise, like a little container, almost like an accordion file type of thing. It's a carry bag, like a messenger bag, that type of thing. And as you start flipping through it, you notice that there's a bunch of photographs, news articles that are in English, French, and German, and all of them seem to be reports involving Le Roi en Jaune. So you start flipping through it. You notice that there apparently are copies of some kind of play. Do you speak French? Vessels. I know you do. I was checking if Vessel
Okay.
does.
Wait, do I? Oh, no, I don't.
Yeah. You notice that the one in English has... the one in English seems to have it's kind of typewritten. It's not like an official like publication of it. It's like a typed binding of papers, but it does have, so say, the king in yellow on it, and the other one is in French. As you're going through the pages, you're noticing that several of the pages that you're kind of going through of the the printed copies and other photographs and things like that have a very familiar phrase stamped on it, Delta Green, and many of them are dated 1951. You can see that there's a bunch of handwritten notes as well. There's tons of stuff in here. So this literally would take kind of hours to read through. But yeah, it's a very heavy file. I mean, if you didn't know any better, this is the type of like kind of case file that either a handler gives their agents or agents compile.
We'll pack it up for now. Look into it.
Yeah. But you definitely think like this is worth spending some time to read through. While that's happening, Album, what are you doing?
The iron did not yield anything from its dismantling.
Iron unfortunately did not yield anything.
Okay.
Spare parts.
Album's gonna look under the beds and under the mattresses to see if there's any files or papers or anything kind of hidden.
Okay. Yeah, you start going underneath the bed. You can tell, there's nothing underneath the bed. As you start kind of pulling the top of the mattress off to try to inspect underneath it, you don't notice anything in between. Nothing in between.
And at this point, the desk and the dresser have been searched, so that's all.
There's a couple more. I was just giving you a chance. There's a couple more drawers in the dresser before I cycle back.
Fawn would yell out, "Is there a mini fridge?"
There is a mini fridge. You open it up, there's nothing inside. Looks to have used before, but just continue to go through the dresser drawer, and you notice, you can say maybe Album steps over and finishes this while Vessel's kind of flipping through the pages. You find a mask in a silver robe, Album. The mask looks to be paper mache, and it's got like a single silver wire that seems to kind of hold it to the face. The expression on the face is like, you can't even tell. Is it smiling? Is it frowning? It's kind of an inscrutable, plain, strange, confusing looking face. When you kind of try to unfold or move the robe around, it's kind of this silvery plastic robe. And all of you, I would imagine, recognize something similar from your time in the McAllister building. When I think you found one of these at one point.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember if you found a mask, but I know you found a robe.
Album's going to hold the mask up and say, "Well, I've got my mask for this meeting that we're going to at the church."
Oh, good call.
Supplied it.
Fawn wants, while she's kind of standing there not kind of looking at anything, she wants to think back to the time in the night floors and see if this room was similar to any rooms that we came across, or that she came across during her time lost upstairs.
No, this looks just like yours and Chelsea's. Some slight differences. The phone is the main thing that looks different. The lack of a window, obviously. It's a very claustrophobic feel in here.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, no. So right now, like Fawn, you're like kind of cleaning up some of the paper. Vessel, you're flipping through the valves that you found. Album, you're unloading the dresser, kind of going through the paper mache mask and the robe. Agent Chelsea, you notice a shadow move on the wall opposite the bathroom, just kind of moving across, and then moments later, the bathroom light flicks on. Album having left it, it was off momentarily, but you see the light just kind of flick off. And you can see that the shadow itself is just kind of gangly, hollow looking figure that it's giving you some slight flashbacks. You hear a bamboo clacking sound, like this, as the shadow kind of moves across the wall. And then you hear like the clicking of things. And it's just kind of unsettles you for a moment. The light just goes on in the bathroom.
So now the light's back on in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go search the bathroom.
Okay. So you step over, push the door open, turn the light on, or the light's already on, excuse me. you notice that standing or in front of you, there is a life-size marionette dressed in the exact same clothing that you're wearing, that has the hair kind of styled in the exact same manner that yours is styled, eye color the same, looks exactly like you in every possible way, dangling from strings in the ceiling, and it suddenly rushes you. Kind of, you see as you step in, as you're walking into the bathroom, it rushes you. What do you do?
I throw myself out of the room.
Okay. So as you fall back out of the room, slamming against like the closet door, like the recordings door, you can see the lights kind of flick off again. The rest of you, in the bathroom. The rest of you hear this, whatever the hell just happened, as like Chelsea just jumps out of the bathroom, smashes against the wall, and then like you hear the racketing.
There's
Yeah, Album's gonna wheel around and just like run over to the bathroom doorway.
So
don't go in there.
Couple things. I need you to roll SAN.
Yep. 5.
Okay.
Yes.
And as you're standing there babbling and you see Album moving towards you, you hear the sound of something sliding across the tile, like, and you watch as like the ambient light from the room is just giving just enough light into the bathroom as this hardcover lavender book is sliding across the tile floor in the bathroom and stops right at the edge to where you're kind of leaning down. So right at the edge into the carpeted room. You reach down, you snatch it, you take a look at it. It is a copy of the Libro Sectorum Manifesta. And it's very dark in the bathroom.
Do I know what that book is?
Yeah, probably. I would think you're a cult high enough. Album, you were coming over to check. Did I hear that right?
Yeah, just to see what was going on.
And so you see her on the ground. You see the bathroom door is like somewhat closed, but it's very dark inside. She is freaking out. She has a book in her hand that came out of nowhere.
He'll turn on the flashlight on his cell phone and shine it into the bathroom.
As you shine the light into the bathroom, you get a little bit of that reflection from the mirror, but you don't see anybody in there. You see a little bit of yourself.
He'll turn the light to the actual room on into the bathroom and see if it comes back on.
Flick the light on. What are Vessel and Fawn doing at this point?
I'll come over and help Chelsea up.
Okay. What about you, Fawn?
Fawn feels stuck on door duty. Keeping the door open is important for safety.
Which means you're just a few steps away from this, so you kind of watched her just smash out of the room here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, she's definitely like asking a lot, like, "Oh my God, what's going on?"
Okay. What's your occult at, Chelsea?
My occult is 45.
Okay. So it's the Book of Secrets. Okay. As you start flipping through it a little bit, you realize that it certainly just seems like another less than complete translation of Le Roi Anjou. Now, as you guys are all huddled around the bathroom entrance to this hotel room, so like you got Agent Fawn is standing at the door, Album's got the light on and is kind of looking inside the bathroom. Vessel is kneeling down probably to help Chelsea out. All of you hear this sudden thump coming from further inside the room where all of you just departed from, where where the beds are, all those types of things.
I will go investigate it.
You turn around, you walk over to where you heard it coming from, and you can see that on like the main rug of the room, kind of between the two beds, you can see that there is a cardboard box that was not there prior.
I'll open it up, see what's...
Yeah, you start flipping through it. There's a bunch of foreign papers in here, like newspapers, things like that, old radios. There's a metal leg brace, some needles. You notice that there are about, as you're flipping through, about 24 Polaroid pictures of the shrine from Abigail Wright's apartment. I need you to roll sand as you start flipping through these Polaroids. Go ahead and roll a d4.
Weren't we taking Polaroid pictures?
Yeah, we were. This looks like an evidence box, potentially.
Take 1 point of sanity from helplessness.
All right. I'll just shut it close and have someone else look at it. That's freaking me out a bit, guys.
Okay.
Give it to Fawn. Can I step back into the bathroom?
Sure.
And then I'm gonna go up to the mirror,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna do the little test thing to see if like it's a one-way, like if it's actually a mirror.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
then
it's a mirror.
I'm gonna pull out my lipstick and I'm gonna write hello
Okay.
on the mirror,
You write hello on the mirror.
and then just kind of leave that at that.
All right.
Album's gonna go over to the box of the box that Vessel found
Okay.
to see what it is, since all he heard was a thump and then Vessel went over.
Yeah, you go through it, and same thing. You see a bunch of old papers, some radios, metal leg brace, needles, bunch of like all of it just looks like trash. You're fairly confident as you go through it, and since there was no communication, I too need you to roll a sanity test from now, seeing that this is basically the evidence stuff from the shrine wall of Abigail.
Yeah,
And you're good with your
I
success.
I succeeded. Yeah. So then, would Album recognize the Polaroids since he was the one taking them?
Yeah. Yeah. You're like, I mean, you're pretty confident you took some of these.
So is this box is it like an evidence box or just a plain cardboard
Just
box?
a cardboard box.
Album's gonna look at Vessel and not really knowing what else to do, she's like, well, at least the police don't have the evidence from the McAllister building.
I'm just not in agreement.
Chelsea, you wait around looking for some kind of message back and nothing comes.
While I'm alone in the bathroom, I'm gonna ask, do you have my other books?
Who are you talking to? Fawn's still like holding the door open.
I mean, and Chelsea's just like, oh, you know.
Agent Vaughn, what's your alertness?
32.
Okay. You you're talking to Chelsea, and like you hear her talking, but then you hear another voice coming from the bathroom, as if it's like you can't quite discern exactly what they're saying, but it's like Chelsea says something, and then you hear a voice, and as you're trying to hold on to your position and like kind of lean, almost like you're doing like a lead at first base.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of see through the crack, and you kind of see this out of focus woman that's reflected in the mirror, covered in blood, and you don't see Chelsea. Roll a sanity, please.
Oh, shit. That's a fail.
Roll a d4. This is for violence, as she is just coated and covered in blood. 1 point. Oh, man, you guys are so lucky on your d4s tonight. 1 point of sanity damage, sanity loss from violence. So what are you doing as you take that?
I'm yelling for Vessel and Album. Get back in here.
Rush over.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
Alright.
gonna wheel around and run over to Fawn.
Two of you rush over and you look inside, and there's Chelsea standing in front of a mirror in which she's written hello in lipstick. You don't see anything.
What's the commotion?
Chelsea's not in there, and there's a bloody woman.
Fawn, I think you're just seeing the lipstick that's on the mirror that Chelsea wrote with.
It's not freaking lipstick, and then I'll look back.
Roll a sin. Fun. As you look over, it was not lipstick. You saw a very, very large, contours of a woman covered in blood.
Failed again.
Take 1 point of sin loss from the unnatural. You're confident. Nope. That was a woman. She was covered in blood. It was not the small letters of hello written in lipstick.
Yeah, so very fast pressured speech. She's gonna say like, no. That's that. I know the difference between blood and lipstick. This was a person who was bloody, not damn lipstick on a mirror.
Chelsea, did you see a bloody person in the mirror?
No, I was just talking to the room.
I'm gonna take Fawn out of here because everyone else seems to not see this.
Okay. You take Fawn out into the hallway. There's it.
So out of this room, whatever she's looking at.
Yeah,
I'm
she's
holding the door
She's holding
open.
the door, and she's like leaning in and looking. Because remember, the bathroom is relatively right off the front
just
door. It's a couple steps
Standing in the
away.
way. She doesn't see it anymore.
She doesn't see
She's
it.
going a bit crazy.
Can I check the bathtub?
Yeah, it's clean. Album did a very clean and thorough investigation, and other than the now smudged hello on the mirror,
Okay.
it still looks in pristine condition.
Okay.
Album's gonna go back to the evidence box. And
Yeah,
do
you
search
take a couple
on it.
steps back to the evidence box, and it's not there anymore.
God damn it! He starts. He'll start searching around the room for it.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing?
I feel like I've exhausted my search, so I'm just ready to
I
go.
want to step out of the bathroom and turn the light back off.
Okay, you turn the light back off, and the light's off inside of the bathroom.
Just gonna
Chelsea,
take a page out of
you were-
Chelsea's book. Sorry.
Chelsea, you were talking to someone, and they were talking back.
Did you hear? What did they say?
I couldn't quite understand it, but like you would ask a question, and they were talking back.
Okay. So I'm gonna flip the light back on in the bathroom, and I'm gonna go back in and put my phone on record, and I'm gonna continue to try and like ask questions, and then
Sure. Okay.
And I'm gonna treat it just like I did, like, because it's been a long time since I've done a ghost hunt, but like I feel into it. So I'm like, is Abigail right here?
Can Album hear this from the
Yeah.
bedroom area?
Oh yeah.
All right, I was gonna say, can you ask the asshole to give me the box of stuff back?
Do you have any more books for me?
No, the box of evidence.
Could we have the box back? And then I'll after asking a few questions, I'll step out of the bathroom and I'll turn the light off again.
Yeah. You listen back to your recording, just you.
Okay.
Juan will peek her head around and look back bravely again.
There's nothing there.
Damn it.
I don't want to go in the bathroom in the dark.
Then no.
I know. It's not a D&D
Somebody hold the
puzzle.
door open. Somebody take over door
Okay,
duty.
I'll Chelsea will swap out.
Okay.
So then I'll try going in the bathroom.
Okay. You go to the bathroom.
Now, mind you, like I'm not really doing very well, but
Oh, I
like
know.
I still want to figure out what the hell is going on and like prove that I'm not losing my mind, which I'm in the process of losing my mind.
Okay. So you're in the bathroom. Vessel's, are you leaving the room, Vessel?
Yeah, I'm about done here.
Yeah. So Vessel's leaving. He's got his valise. He's got that leather valise under his arm as he's moving out. You leave. You go out into the hallway. Chelsea, you're holding on to the door. Album, what are you doing?
Album's still looking for that box and is even calling out like,
Okay.
"Can I please have the box back? I wasn't quite done with it."
You're going underneath, and you're looking. You're looking for stuff underneath the beds. Fawn, what is it you're trying to accomplish in the bathroom now?
I'm trying to mimic what she did.
Okay.
And just
So,
because she said she didn't want to go into the dark, so I'm
Okay.
going in the dark. And
all right. So while you're in there and you're kind of mimicking, et cetera, Album, you're looking underneath the beds. You stand up, you turn around, and you very nearly trip over the body of a woman on the floor, right next to the drawn shades. That are the kind of the west wall. You see that her head has been shattered by what clearly is a gunshot wound. Her skull has been smashed open, much like a gourd, and there's blood and brains everywhere on the ground. There's a smell of gunpowder that's just right up in your nostrils, and you're trying to pulling at your nose to get it to go away. And as you look down, you can see in your hand you have a pistol that's warm. There's a little bit of plume of smoke that's spilling out from a barrel. I need you to roll SAN.
Is this for violence?
This is for violence, yeah.
I'm adapted to. Oh, do I still have to make the roll? I don't know how adapted.
You do
to
still
violence
have to
works.
make the roll.
Okay. Cool. I
Okay.
succeeded.
So you're still going to take, I think you still take one. So basically what it does, like when you're adapted, like if you were to fail it, you would, hang on, I got to look at it again. But I think it's like it basically minimizes essentially what you take. So the minimum amount that you could take on this is one. And so that's what you're going to end up taking.
Gotcha.
And then we can revisit that if I screwed it up later.
Okay.
But yeah, you're sitting there holding this gun, hands starting to shake. It's warm in your hands, smoke's coming up, your nostrils are filled with it, and you're just looking down. You even, you look and there's blood splatter on your shirt, on your hands. And there's this woman's head who is just exploded on the ground in front of you. Right underneath the window. Not the window, where the window should be.
Right. So Album's gonna basically swallow or choke down a scream that he wants to scream out to everybody, and he's gonna with his right hand, with his left, whichever hand doesn't have the gun, is gonna take out his phone, and he's trembling like crazy. He's gonna take several pictures of the gun, of several angles of it, and then take a picture of the woman, but he's not gonna alert the others about this at all.
Good. Done.
Because he's noticed every time that we go from one room to another, shit disappears. So he's just trembling and just yeah. Oh wait, no, I didn't see the woman in the mirror, did I?
No.
Yeah, I didn't see her. Okay. Would I be able to get any information from her with my forensics? I have a forensics of 40. Could I get more information by doing a roll?
Yeah, okay, sure.
No, I did not make it.
Okay. Outside of it, seems that she was very clearly killed with a close range bullet to the head, it looks like, and then there's not much else. You do see there's some trauma on the hands that might be defensive wounds or something like that, possibly, but you're not sure. You're not confident in that conclusion.
Okay. If I guess since I have criminology and forensics of a decent level, Album would at least take pictures of the bruises on the hands that are potential defensive wounds.
Sure. I'll give you credit for taking pictures of everything. Don't worry. Yeah.
Okay. Now, is this a revolver or a semi-automatic pistol?
All I have is pistol. We'll say kind of like a heavy pistol, so it would be a more kind of like a modern, kind of like Desert Eagle, very strong, hand cannon.
Okay. Album's gonna check to see if there's any more. He's gonna check the magazine to see if there's any more rounds in it.
Yeah, there are a couple. It looks like the gun is it hasn't been mostly emptied, but a couple rounds have been fired.
Okay. So then so I'm facing away from the others that are in the
yeah,
bathroom
with
right now,
with the way it works, the beds are recessed off to the south, so no one can see you right now because Chelsea is holding the door that's by the hallway. Vessel's left, and Fawn is in the bathroom. No one can see you.
Okay, so then Album's gonna walk like sidle around the body, keep it in view the whole time, and then face toward like the front door.
Okay.
And then he's going to very calmly, I mean, his voice is gonna be trembling, but he's just gonna say, Chelsea or Fawn, I need you to send Vessel in here with me now. Both of you stay where you're at.
Yeah, Chelsea, you hear it just fine.
And I kind of like, I'll look out in the hallway to see where Vessel is, and I'll call him back.
Turn around real quick.
He's like, screw this shit. He's like going into your room.
Oh.
And just to give Vessel a warning, and when I hear him enter like into the room again, like his footsteps, I'm gonna say, "There's a dead body on the floor, and there's brains everywhere. So brace yourself."
Seen my fair share. I will brace myself.
So you walk into the room, and you see Album. He's got his phone in his hand, hands shaking a bit. And you walk over to where he's been pointing, and it's the same spot where you had discovered the discolored portion of the carpet, right? Where like there clearly was a body here that was pooling at some point. And that's all you see. You don't see a body. You don't see anything. And Alba, when you look down, you don't see it either. And you look at your hands, the heat is gone from your palm. You don't have you don't see the smoke anywhere. You still have like the vague smell of gunpowder in your nostrils but it's fading rapidly, and you don't see anything. I need you to roll sand again. Sorry, buddy.
Okay.
Oh, buddy.
Oh,
Buddy. Take 4 points of sanity loss from the unnatural.
That's gonna cause me to break, and remind me again, if I were to push it off, it only cuts it off by whenever I roll on a d4, right?
Yeah, and then you have to burn that amount of willpower. So is that what you want to do? You want to try to pass this off onto a bond?
I don't know, because I would need to roll a 3 or better. I guess not, no matter what I'm gonna break.
Now, do you have something that triggers when you suffer 2 or more? Don't you have a disorder, I think?
Oh, he does.
I've got anxiety, but let me see if it's on my Google sheet.
Sure.
Oh yeah, losing 2+ sand in any single roll triggers an acute episode in which all skill and stat tests are at -20. Oh, good, because I don't roll low enough. Jesus.
So while your anxiety disorder kind of stemmed from getting lost within like these endless halls, I do think that we can probably thematically connected to the fact that there was some weird stuff that was unexplainable. Obviously, things that you saw but didn't see, things that disappeared that didn't, and it's happening again. And so, you just took 4 points of sanity loss. You hit a breaking point, and you triggered an acute episode here of your anxiety disorder. What does this look like? Like how does this look like for Agent Album?
So he's just gonna he's gonna drop his phone, and then he's gonna put his hands on his temple, and he's just gonna start muttering rapidly to himself, and it's unintelligible. He's talking a mile a minute, and he's just gonna start pacing, and he's not really paying attention to where he paces, so he might bump into things. I mean, he might even just start pacing out of the room or into the hallway, but he's just muttering to himself, massaging his temples, and it's just not at all grounded into what's around him.
So you come into the room then, Vessel, you see this, and you just see Album, who was already shaking to begin with, looks down at his hands, looks at you, looks at the ground, and just his phone drops on the ground. He puts his hands to the side of his head, and almost like a child, not wanting to hear anything, right? Just nopes out of the room into the hallway. Just flees. All right. What do you do with that?
Yeah. Tell you, I don't think Album's had enough. I'll see if he saw something on his phone. I'll pick it up.
Yeah, you pick up the phone, and we'll say that just for ease, it's still unlocked. You start flipping through, and he has recently taken photographs, and you see several photographs of the rug. You see a couple photographs of his hand. You see some really close-up photographs of the rug, some even closer photographs of the rug, and some even closer photographs of his hand.
Okay. I'll just hang on for it.
Okay.
and I will to leave.
Okay. So the other thing, by the way, you can also try to repress an acute episode. I was just pulling up this, by the way. It's the same thing of like projecting trauma onto a bond. So it's the same basic principle. You can try to repress the blind panic of like a temporary insanity or an acute episode by spending willpower, and the amount is always 1d4. And if you have at least one willpower after spending the amount that you roll, you basically push this off onto your bond about how you kind of keep it together so you're not like kind of fleeing and losing your mind for a bit. So it's kind of up to you. It's also like 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I think I'll just let Album run away.
Okay. Album just flees the scene, drops his phone, and bolts out of the room. Fawn and Chelsea, what have you two been doing? What's up?
So Fawn was in the bathroom just trying to recreate writing on the mirror, trying to talk, all of those kinds of things.
Yeah, you keep going through the same things that Chelsea did, and Chelsea's there. You're still holding the door, Chelsea?
Yeah.
Okay. You see Album run past you out into the hallway and just disappear, much like Derek has. He's really getting into his character. I love it. And you see Vessel is like, he went inside the room. You can't see him anymore. He's somewhere in there. But Fawn, you go through the same process, and all of that's just kind of nothing seems to happen. Like there's no, you turn the lights on, you turn the lights off, you try to talk, you listen for a voice. Maybe you even write some kind of some kind of lipstick message to whatever it is that you want to mimic, but you're not
kind of a shaky hand. Like this handwriting is definitely messy.
Yeah, you're not getting anything. So you say like, hey, as opposed to hello or something like that, or hi, greetings. We come in peace. Vessel, as you turn around to make yourself, make your way out from behind the recessed area where the beds are, you find yourself face to face with a door in the middle of the room. It's like right in front of you. It's like a painted stage prop. Chelsea, because of the recessed nature, you can't see this. But Vessel, you can see it. It's just standing right there in front of you. Roll sand.
Oh. Success.
Yeah, you're holding it together. Like worse things have happened to you than a door suddenly appearing in the middle of the room. But nonetheless,
a second door.
Nonetheless, it definitely looks like a set piece. It looks like some kind of like a play about royalty or like medieval times type of thing. It certainly looks like a kind of a more ornate setup. But yeah, standing right there. Certainly a prop door.
You can see both sides of it.
Yeah, you can move around it, kind of peek. At one point, Chelsea, you see him come around and then he disappears again as he's going around to the other side. But it's both sides.
All right, I'll bite. I'll open it up.
Okay. You open up the door and you see through an empty doorway to the other side of the room.
It's an empty door. Nothing here. I'm going to leave.
You close the door and you leave. Fair enough.
What color is the door?
I don't know. You didn't see it. No, it's like, we'll call it red. But I think Vessel wanted it painted black instead, but it's red. I'm proud of myself. I'm very proud of myself for that one. So Fawn, like you're still in the bathroom. Nothing has turned up for you.
Maybe you should shut the door.
Are you freaking crazy? All of you get in here before I do this.
I mean, I have to hold the door open.
No,
I'll
you're
hold the door,
fine. I
Chelsea.
just mean...
I've left and entered multiple times. I haven't seen anything. So
Ratchety man Vessel is.
You call out. Album does not come. Chelsea, you look down the hall. You don't see Album anymore. You have no idea where he is.
Album's gone. He has left the building.
Ugh. All right, let's just get this over with.
What are you doing? You close
Going
the
in the
door?
bathroom and closing the door.
Okay.
No, the room door is still open because Vessel's holding the door.
I'm
Okay.
holding the door.
Yes, you've been very clear about holding the hotel room door open. Don't worry.
There's
Don't
no
worry.
change to that
No
plan.
confusion there on my part. But you are in the bathroom alone by yourself. You turn the lights off. Vessel and Chelsea are outside somewhere. Okay. As you're standing there, you feel something bump against you. Like your shoulder, your arm. You hear like a mumbled voice, like a male's voice. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Roll
Sorry,
sand. No, roll sand. No, you're
Sand.
rolling sand.
It's like maybe
You're
I
in the
could-
dark in an
maybe I
empty
could-
bathroom.
I
Roll a
failed.
d4. Roll a d4.
We're getting close.
Take 1 point. You guys are so lucky. Other than Derek.
I am one away.
And as you, you hear, you kind of feel an arm bump against you. You feel something fall on the ground. You hear him say, "Excuse me," and you kind of feel like the brushed fabric like against you as like it's a.
Can I reach out and try to grab the arm?
Sure. Yeah, you reach out and you're kind of like grasping at like nothingness.
Who are you? It sounds much less brave than that.
Okay. Couple paces, couple seconds go by. You hear no response.
No, seriously. Who the hell are you?
No, seriously. A couple seconds go by and you hear no response.
All right, I'm gonna reach down because I feel like I heard something fall.
Yeah, you did.
I'm gonna crouch down and can I see?
No, you turn the lights off, I thought.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure. I'm gonna feel around on the floor for. one
You
drop.
feel around the floor and it's cold tile. That's about it.
She's gonna just say screw this and turn the light back on.
Okay, turn the light back on. You are in an empty bathroom. Pristine. Smells like lavender.
I'm going to open the door.
Okay, you open the door and you see Vessel. Well, you see Chelsea. Vessel probably noped out of there too at this point. But yeah, you guys are both there.
Well, there was a guy in there. He like brushed into me and dropped something, but I can freaking find it. So, yeah.
There was
You
nothing on the
wanted-
floor when she turned the light on.
Nope.
Do I want to what?
Hey, Vessel.
He wants
You
to go
outside?
to bed. He wants to go to bed so bad.
What now? Yeah.
I think you should give this a try. Like everybody else is like seen some stuff, tried some stuff.
No, I've seen stuff.
Your turn.
I've seen the box. I've seen a door. Doesn't make any sense, but
What door?
I'll explain.
Mm-hmm.
And then.
Did
I don't
you
know
go
what you're
through
trying
it?
to get out of it. No, I'm not going through it.
Well,
I've gone through this door multiple times. Nothing's happened.
this is just.
Are
a
you in the
bathroom
doorway?
door.
Long?
Fawn?
Oh.
Oh.
This door? Yeah. Showing
Yeah,
around
like the
everywhere.
entrance.
Hmm?
If he is, I'm gonna go into the room to see if I can see the door.
You do not.
Okay.
You don't have to roll anything because all you had was his word. You didn't see it yourself, so you can choose whether or not you want to believe him, obviously. But yeah, but no, you don't see anything.
Then Chelsea will at this point be done as well, and
Okay.
she'll want to go over the info that Long found.
Okay.
Is there any part of this room? So like Fawn just kind of wants to do inventory of the room. Like, okay, so we checked the dresser, we checked the mini fridge, we checked the desk, we checked under and around the beds. We checked the bathroom. We checked the closet.
Mhm.
We checked behind the curtains. We're
Yeah.
just looking for anywhere.
Made a couple
anywhere that
phone
we
calls. Yeah. I think you feel fairly confident that you've combed over the entire room.
So are we leaving or no?
I think we've done everything we can. I mean, unless anybody else. So, Vessel, you're not going to try talking to whoever the hell is in the damn bathroom.
No, I'm not playing with ghosts.
I mean, she got a book out of it, so you never know. I didn't get a book out of it.
She's got a cold experience. I don't know how she did it, but
I mean, like a mannequin that looked just like me, like it gave it, like pushed it at me.
Maybe Album has the right idea. Maybe we should just like go for a walk and collect our thoughts and get some fresh air.
It's
Maybe-
3:30. It's almost 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So you guys know you can start doing this really late at night. Do you all leave?
I'm
Yeah.
leaving.
Okay. I think you've made that clear. I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. Okay, so Fawn and Chelsea, what are you two doing? And Vessel, you as well. Again, it's really late. You guys are exhausted.
So
Exhausted.
when we shut the door, I want to knock on the door.
Knock on the door. Nothing happens.
Room service.
And then I want to open it back up.
You open it back up.
It looks the same.
That's just how you guys left it.
Okay, so in the bathroom, there's my scribbles on the mirror and
Yep.
everything.
Everything's there.
Oh God.
Have her just sleep
I
at your
like-
night if you don't want it to disappear.
Could someone stay here? I want to go into my room and call this room to see if it answers or if it rings at least.
I think you guys tried. No, maybe you didn't. Yeah, you go.
Not since we've
yeah.
been in this room.
You go in there. You try to dial. Someone tried to dial
We tried to
616.
call 616
From the own
before we
room,
from
found
yeah.
the
this room.
Yeah, you do the same thing. Nothing happens.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't get a line out. Like the phone just doesn't connect.
Okay.
So in 618, we can't get a line out anymore?
No, you can't get a line into the. You can't. Doesn't
Into
connect to room
616.
616. And if you call down to the front desk, they'll tell you that there is no room 616, and they'll repeat the funny story about like stuff. Yeah, it's always been that way. We just misprint with some of the room blacks.
So I want to go talk to the night person at the front desk.
Okay, so remember, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. You guys haven't slept, so like you guys are pushing yourselves.
Yeah,
like
we
at
should
a
probably
certain
sleep.
point. Yeah, so just like at a certain, no, you can do it, but at a certain point, you're starting to. You're probably going to start breaking down at some point, like as you're pushing
Okay.
yourselves.
Especially Fawn
Unless-
because of her sleep disorder.
Yeah, unless some of you are like popping caffeine, cigarettes, something like that to kind of keep yourselves going. It's pretty late.
Yeah. Okay, then I think we'll go to bed,
Okay.
even though we have no idea where Album is.
Fawn
Sure.
wants to take a walk around and look for Album.
Okay. Roll a luck test, Fawn.
Okay. Success.
And where do you walk? Like where, when you say take a walk around, what does that mean?
I basically just want to kind of do a hall by hall, kind of. I'm not sure how many floors there are in the hotel.
There are 6. We'll say.
I would kind of do a pretty thorough search. Like he seemed like something was bothering him. He walked off.
You do not find him in the halls.
I'll walk outside. The perimeter.
You walk outside the hotel. You leave the hotel. Okay. You leave the hotel.
Yes, I leave the hotel.
And you find him kind of huddled down what looks like somewhere in the parking lot, between a handful of cars where he's just like rocking back and forth and kind of got this staring up at the sky, just kind of long distance view on like he's not there right now.
Can I kind of just, can I like move him? Just kind of pat him on the back and see if he'll kind of get up and follow me?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
I just want to get him to sleep
Yeah,
in
you
bed,
can.
not
Yeah, I think.
be,
I
like,
mean,
out here.
a simple album you can easily do simple things, but any sort of complex thought, any kind of like complex like thing that you're trying, like any sort of skill check that you're trying to do, you would face depending on what it is. But like in terms of just like responding to her, sure. If it's in album's like base nature, is it in album's base nature to sort of respond to like
let's just
the gentle
sleep in the bed.
nudging of somebody you don't know that well?
Probably not. No, since he's super paranoid.
Okay. So yeah, you're probably just kind of swatting her arm away at this point.
And we have a vehicle here, right?
Yeah.
So my last ditch effort will be, you can stay in the car. I'll go inside.
I think Alm would go for that.
I
That
think,
makes
yeah,
sense.
I think that makes sense. You lived in a van for a really long time. So yeah, that makes sense. Okay. You leave the keys with him. You leave him there and you all retire. So is anybody, where are people sleeping? Fawn and Chelsea, you have rooms, Vessel, or do you go back to your hotel or do you stay in the Boxer?
I'll just stay at the room, whatever.
Okay. So you crash on one of their couches or something like that? Okay.
Mine had a double bed or something.
All right.
Well, I thought we had 2 rooms. I thought we had 618 and 614.
Yeah, you have 2 rooms.
We do.
So like
618 and 612.
yeah, so I assume Fawn and Chelsea, like you guys can crash together or you can crash
I'm not
separately. I don't
sleeping
care.
by myself.
Okay.
I'll sleep in the room with you.
Okay. And then Vessel, you get your own room then, since the 2 of them are ranking together. Your own room, all to yourself. Okay. You guys sleep. Let me just roll something really quick. Don't worry about it. It's not important.
I need to roll.
Let me just do a
See if I actually sleep.
quick thing. Oh, look at
Oh,
that.
thank goodness I
Yeah, you
sleep.
do. You have a hell of a night's sleep. You don't want to know what I rolled, though. Whew. Okay. Morning comes. Late morning.
Yeah.
At some point, album, like you hear the sounds of like horns and cars and stuff that kind of wake you up, and you are in the back seat, or just the back. I can't remember if you guys had a van or if you had a car. You got some like drool on your mouth and stuff, but you feel dehydrated, a little disoriented. Probably aren't like fully relaxed yet. You're probably still on edge, still tense, but seeing the sky, seeing the outside world, seeing through the window is probably calming you down somewhat. So we'll say like your acute episode's starting to wear itself down. Probably not fully gone yet, but you have most total control of your character at this point.
Okay.
You don't have your phone though.
Right.
But you do see the Boxer Hotel. You are still in the parking lot of the Boxer Hotel. The rest of you wake up just fine in your respective rooms. You made your roll, Fawn, so you got your night's sleep. The other 2 of you sleep just fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a shower.
10 a.m. You go into the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Roll
Album's going to go up to the front desk and then ask the person to call room 618 for him.
Whoever's in 618, whichever one of you guys are in it, the phone rings. We'll say Vessel just to move this on or whatever. Or no, Fawn, because you were in the room. Chelsea's taking a shower. Fawn, you're in the room. Phone rings.
Yep.
It's Album.
Hey.
Okay, you're still there. I'm coming up. And then he hangs up.
Okay. You go up. You meet him in 616. Vessel, what do you do when you wake up in the morning? You got this leather valise. Had a weird night.
Make sure everything we found is still intact.
Everything still seems to be there, yeah. You know that there's a ton of files in here. It's gonna take some time to go through. So whenever you want to do that, you let me know, but it will take up a not insignificant amount of time of your day.
I'll find a good place to do so after we've come up with some plans.
Okay. So you meet up with everyone first. So we'll say by 11 o'clock or something like that, 10:30, something like that. You guys are all in Chelsea's room. Chelsea, you got your shower. Everyone else got your night's rest. Album looks better, but still looks a little worse for wear. But he looks better. What do you guys want to do? It is Friday morning, 11 a.m.
Album's gonna check the requests that he sent out to the biologist and the entomologist for the bug identification and
all right.
leaf identification.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. We're gonna say that you. I couldn't remember the exact details of what you. I know we joked about doing the Fiverr thing, so I took some liberty with this, and hopefully you're okay with it. I said maybe like post it on like a live science forum, maybe something like that. Is that okay?
Yeah, just anywhere you can get freelance help, basically.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So like you go into like an internet forum, something like that, or subreddit, whatever you want to do with it is fine. And you do in fact get a response from a user by the name of Brown-Eyed Susan, who identifies the leaf, the plant, as hellebore. There's like a brief description. It's a poisonous, winter-flowering Eurasian plant of the buttercup family. And it's typically has coarse, divided leaves and a large white, green, or purplish flowers. And if it's Reddit, they call you a dumbass and they say, let me Google that for you, and they give you a link to Wikipedia. And you literally can look up hellebore on Wikipedia, and that's the same link that they sent you. Okay. Anybody that wants to roll a cult. If you're doing this all together in the same room. Anybody who wants to go ahead.
Fawn would like to do that. Success.
Okay. So, as you hear, as Album's maybe reading this out loud, or you're looking over his shoulder, whatever it might be, the name hellebore stands out to you. It's a plant that you know is used in witchcraft. And it's specifically used to invoke demons. Would you roll 25? You also know the origins of the term, the etymology of the term is Latin, and that it's a term that's kind of related to beard or to barba, or in some cases, marba.
That's connected to Marbus Exeter.
Okay. We seem to have a lot of fingers pointing at him. Oof. Oh, God.
I feel like it's time to switch that music up. Now, there's no response or any information about the bug. And in case, like, I've never seen anything like that. Looks fake, looks photoshopped. You get a couple messages like that. A couple downvotes, those types of things.
We should see if they're, if anybody checked in, any of the agents who went missing, if they checked in at the Boxer Hotel at all.
Anybody have my phone by any chance?
Yeah, through two, and you're all good.
Did you see what I was talking about?
You took pictures of the rug in your hand. I don't know what that was.
There was definitely it doesn't. All right, it doesn't matter.
Do you look at the photographs that you took, Album?
Yeah, he'll definitely look.
I need you to roll sand. You're fine. You're fine. I mean, at this point, you're kind of like expected it. The minute he said something, and you're like, everything's gonna like you're kind of like, nope, not gonna get me this time. But yeah, like you're 100% confident. You've smelled it in your nose, for crying out loud. You know, you had it on your clothes. You don't anymore, but you did.
Fawn wants to look at the lamp in this room, like the labels on the lamp.
Okay. You see USB. You see on off. and you see property of Halton Limited, and the same kind of tiered setup as the, where the USB was, artist where on off were, and of the original play is where property of Halton Limited currently is. Exact same layout, the decals, the stickers, stuff like that, is exactly the same.
Do a quick googly Google.
Yeah, you look up Halton Limited. It's just the owner of the Boxer Hotel. So it just looks like it's it's like it's theirs. Yeah, this is they're just marking their furniture.
Do they own other buildings?
Yeah, it looks like they're a hospitality company. They have other hotels and things. Looks like they. If you dig into this, you can tell that they. Let's see. What else I can give you? Looks like they renovated it relatively recently. It was renovated in 2015. It's an old hotel from what you can tell, and looks like the company.
Built?
If you do a little research, 1904.
Okay, sorry I interrupted.
No, it's fine. That's all I got. 1904.
Okay. Any information on previous owners, builders, anything like that?
Nothing that stands out to you. It changed hands a couple times here and there with different hospitality companies, but none of the names, all the names kind of click as like major players in the hospitality service, and none of them are like kind of too suspicious for you that you notice.
Then I want to check the Bible in the nightstand.
And Chelsea's, you flip through it, and it is a Bible that has the passages where they're supposed to be. Looks identical to the one that you found in room 618 in terms of covering, stamp on the inside, all those types of things. And up to about 2/3 away through it, they look identical. And then like the final third or so is an intelligence file that has the partially in French, partially in English. And it has like full text of the play in both French and English.
One that's in room 618.
That's was in 616. Yours looks fine. Yours looks fine.
Okay.
But it looks the same, meaning it's like they probably bought in bulk.
Yeah.
But for some reason, the content of the text is different. The layout, the printing, all of it looks the same. It's just.
Is there a date on the stamp?
Looks like it was like they put these in there this year.
Okay, with the renovation.
Yeah, probably.
Who has the key card?
Chelsea, I
do.
think, found it. Yeah.
But I give it to Fawn.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure that Album saw the key card.
Is there anything I can gather from it just by scanning it with that scanner I had made?
You can tell that Jeff doesn't know if this is true, but I want to give you something. So you can tell that, like the magnetic tape or whatever, something's been written onto it, meaning like it's been coded to work with doors. It's not like a blank card.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Chelsea's super interested in the information that Vessel has.
In the Valis?
Yeah. Do we want to go to like a library or something and start cruising through it, or do you just want to do it right here?
Prefer we leave the building. But yeah, there's a lot of info to go through. Have to take some time.
Yeah.
Yeah. If all of you do it together, then it'll shorten it, obviously. But there's quite a few files in here. And again, all of you are Delta Green agents. You've had to do this where you've collected files, collected evidence, you've read files, stuff like that. It has the feel of it. You know what I mean? Like what other, it has that kind of feel to it. Like this is, and that you've already seen that there's many pages that have the Delta Green stamp on it. There, Vessel.
We have until like Sunday. Is that meeting, or what's the day?
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Oh, okay.
Encounter group.
So if you guys want to spend the day looking through this, we can.
It is, yeah, it's Friday. It wouldn't take that long. If you guys all contributed to it, you could probably get through it in a couple hours.
So while we're clearing out of the rooms and checking out, do we still see the 616 door?
Yeah, it's still there.
One last peek our head in before we go.
Feel free, I'll start the car.
Okay.
You got to pick.
Did you guys say you were checking out of the hotel?
No, I'm gonna keep my room.
Okay.
I am, at least. I don't want this room anywhere.
I don't think you have a room. I think it was Fawn's room, and you were just crashing.
Yeah.
You have a different hotel room. Yeah, there's the it says 7 to 9 p.m. on Tuesdays. I just shared the.
Do we
flyer.
want to split and have some of us go to St. Jude's Church and check that out?
You want to check it out afterwards. Just take
That's
the
true.
hours.
Okay, so Fawn wants Vessel to pick the lock so she can just peek in the room one last time before we go for the day.
I mean, unless
Is it
you
relocked
Did
did you
itself?
lock it? Unless you locked it, it's open. You can open
Oh,
it.
that's right, because it's an old school.
Old school
Okay.
key lock.
Right.
You peek in, and it looks
Mhm.
exactly as you left it.
Hello. All right, fine, let's go.
Okay. So you guys head out. Maybe you get some lunch or some breakfast or whatever it is. Find a restaurant nearby. Get a table off to the corner by yourselves. No prying eyes or ears, and you start digging through this file. And there's quite a bit. And you notice that there are notes all throughout on some of this in handwriting that you don't recognize. And you see clearly two different sets of handwriting, but neither of them look familiar to you. So, let's do this one at a time. Vessel.
Yeah.
You find, we'll say, handwriting A. A handwritten note that kind of stands out to you on a color printout of a photograph of a man. Let me see if I have that, actually. I don't know if I do. Yeah, I'm not sure if I have one. But it's a color printout of a photograph of a man who's wearing a fairly dated looking suit. He's squat. He's got a wisp of a hairline, buzzed short, has small, narrow eyes, and he's carrying a suitcase. The note reads Medford, July 5th. And on some of the other files that are kind of like stamped together with this, you can see that this person is identified as an intelligence operative, and you can see that stamped Delta Green, missing October 1951, and you see a name, Emmett Mosby.
It's not immediately recognizable.
Roll in ×5. And let me know how you do.
Success.
Okay. Emmett doesn't seem too familiar to you, but the name Mosby rings a bell. Vaguely. And if you share it with the rest of the group, when you guys were in the night floors and you were...
Mosby.
You did, yeah. You remember seeing a hallway filled with framed photographs of people holding bottles, and one of them had the name E. Mosby. Talk amongst yourselves for a second. I'm trying to see if I have a picture.
Yeah, let everybody know. His name's tickling me. I think it's from the night floors.
So he was also a Delta Green operative then.
According to this note, this photo.
And I had a picture on the wall.
You never told us that. Which
Well,
one
I-
was you?
That's true.
Just did.
I think it could be in here then.
That is the picture you see. Well, that's one of the pictures you see. There's another one you see that he's got like a suitcase in, but it just gives you an idea of what you're looking at. Oops.
It's an interesting border.
Don't read too much into that.
Okay.
I'm just giving you a picture of it. I don't want you to obsess with it.
I'm like,
Does
you know, fucking with
1951
us.
ring a bell?
The specific
timeline
year of
of years.
1951, no, but you do recall getting. I would say you have gotten 1950s before. So this isn't the first time the 1950s have come into play. Go ahead, Ashley.
Does it match the Polaroid-ish kind of my sister that I found?
No, actually, that was a little older. In fact,
Okay.
yeah, this has actually got some color to it and everything. Well, not really. The photo, the printout is in color, but the photo itself is still. But yeah, it says intelligence operative, Delta Green, missing October 1951.
Okay.
So let's keep it moving. Album. And we'll say handwriting B. You come across a reproduction of an extremely old black and white photograph that's got the date 1895. And it's labeled with a piece of masking tape on which a note reads, Marbus. The photograph shows two actors that are in pantomime wearing ruffled brocade outfits and small fez-like hats. One is a very tall African-American man, and the other is a pale white woman. The woman has a vague familiarity to you because the outfit she's wearing doesn't really help. But you have a vague familiarity of her, but you didn't really get a very keen look at the woman in the window in Exeter's home. But boy, if she doesn't, like, there's the face just sort of a little bit. But I'll tell you this, the man that you're looking at is very clearly Agent Exeter. Do you have any art or history album?
I have a history of 30.
Okay. Roll plus 20. So 50 or lower. You can get it without getting one of them to help you.
But you've got minus
69.
20, so it balances back out again.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
If you share it with somebody else, because there's other people in here, I know Fawn, you have pretty high history.
Oops.
We also
Sorry.
have 2 rerolls from.
Oh yeah, you can do a reroll if you want.
I accidentally rolled, so sure,
We'll take it.
I'll
Perfect.
take it.
You're pretty confident that this is Paris. Like you can kind of tell from some of the stuff you see in the background, the nature of the dress, etc. You're pretty confident of that. Do you have anything in art or photography or any reason that your character might know art or like anything with photography, something like that?
The only stretch that I could make for photography would be the electric security system, since that would include cameras, but no, not really.
Yeah, this is more old-timey photographs.
Yeah, no. But album would definitely say, like, okay, like, this is clearly Exeter in this picture, and kind of, like, show it to everyone.
Anybody have art photography?
I have art
I have
painting.
Okay. Both of you go ahead and take a roll at plus 20 for your art. Okay.
Wow.
Fawn with a 19. It's not necessarily your area of expertise, but you probably dabbled a little bit in photography. This is a 20th century film emulsion reproduction of an old picture that's taken on dry glass plates. The photograph, however, appears genuine and old. And I need you to roll a sand.
Oh, this is gonna do it, I think.
Album like just kind of throws her in the way.
I fail all of my sand rolls.
1 point.
Meanwhile, Ashley passes every single one of hers.
1 point of sanity.
On wood.
That does it.
Okay. Do you want to push that off? Onto a bond?
So I have a quick question. So when we sleep, how much willpower do we recover?
Good question.
Is it like a full refill? Not that it really matters. It's just one difference, but
I don't recall off the top of my head.
so we'll just say that I'll push it off on my bond. I'll push it off on my
I have
department
it here.
chair.
1d6 willpower after getting a full night's sleep. So you can roll. Everyone can do that and get your 1d6 back.
All right, I was one short, so I'm full up again. And I'm going to pass... How much am I passing?
Well, I mean, you only took 1 point of sand. So if you're looking to do that, are you deciding to pass this off?
Yeah, so that I don't break again.
Okay. At some point, we need to do some little mini scenes of like you calling your people and yelling at them and stuff like, why didn't you call me? Who you seeing? Who's that voice? You know, that kind of stuff. Be great.
Yeah, I'm going to do the my former department chair. Seems to make sense for this.
Okay. All right. So you can spend willpower to reduce the loss. The amount of willpower lost is always 1d4. So go ahead and roll d4. Okay. So when your agent loses sand, you can spend willpower to reduce the loss. The amount of willpower lost is always 1d4. If after reducing willpower, your agent still has at least 1 willpower left,
I do.
you can reduce the sand loss by the amount of willpower you just spent. Now, you also have to reduce a bond score by the same amount.
So by...
The 1.
By
By
1 or
one.
4.
Okay.
I think it's
Yeah,
by what you
that was my
roll.
question.
I think it's by what you roll. We'll look into that. We're getting near the end, but we'll look into that for later. We don't need to worry about that right now. The bond stuff will come into play later.
I do not break.
Okay. All right. So
I
yeah,
learned that it was a glass plate photograph that has been reproduced.
it is.
But it's old.
It is
an
a
old reproduction.
genuine old. It's a genuinely old photograph from 1895 of the man you know as Agent Exeter, and
Looks
a woman.
the same age.
Yes, but vaguely, and the woman that both you and Album think but aren't very confident. With Exeter, you are supremely confident, but you think this is the same woman you saw outside of his, like leaning outside the second floor window of his home, talking to nobody while he was dumping machine parts in the backyard, and she was talking to somebody.
Volkswagen parts, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so then Fawn in we'll call this handwriting A, you see that there are notes that are scrawled on the last piece of paper in the file that says a series of phrases. I'm going to do these one at a time. Words, copy themselves. Call O. Making books in the house, ? Dallin, 9 on July 8. Mace, stun gun, zip tie, put in DH, then raid Medford, H in burn. So I'll read it again. Words copy themselves. So it's just a piece of paper in the file. Call O. Making books in the house, ? Dallin, 9 on July 8th. Mace, stun gun, zip tie, put in DH, then raid Medford H in burn.
Okay.
Okay. Then, and that was again handwriting A. Chelsea, you find as you're going through this, you've read the play before, and you're seeing lots of copies of the play are suddenly popping up in these notes, in the Bible, in the file, etc. And you can see that there's a section of the play that you know has to do with dreams. And you see a note written in handwriting A that says, West window during sleep, ? Okay. And that's what you guys get from these files. And again, they are complete typewritten copies of the play. 2 of them. One is in English, one is in French. And this very clearly looks like an intelligence file, Delta Green, stamped all over it. A photograph of apparently a missing intelligence operative by the name of Emmett Mosby has been missing October 1951. An 1895 photo of Agent Exeter, your handler, with a note that says Marbus, a woman who you think you might have seen in the second story of her home. And this is impossibly old. A note that says words copy themselves, call O, making books in the house, Dallin 9 on July 8th. Mace, stun gun, zip tie put in D, capital D, H. Then raid Medford H and burn. If you guys want to talk that out.
So DH is clearly the Dorchester house.
Oh, what's this Bedford that keeps popping up? I think it's the second time.
Yeah, there's a Medford on the other picture. Medford, July 5th.
Okay. I'm going to be kind and benevolent GM. Album, Fawn, you were in Medford. You guys were in Medford. It's a neighborhood in Boston where Agent Exeter's house is.
Oh, right.
So raid Medford H, so Medford House.
Words copy themselves. Call O, making books in the house. Dallin, you recognize the name Dallin, obviously.
The doctor, yeah.
That says 9 on July 8th. Some sort of meeting time, maybe. Mace, stun gun, zip tie, put in Dorchester House, if that's what you're going with. Then raid Medford House in burn.
What do you guys think? Should we call Dr. Dallin and see if he has any interesting memories from July 8th?
What day is today?
I believe it's...
We're in like August, aren't we? Or September?
September. I think it's September 4th.
September 4th.
It's Friday, September 4th. It's lunchtime.
And when did they disappear?
I beg your pardon?
When did the residents disappear that we've come to
The
investigate?
agents.
I believe it was 28th of August.
Okay.
E magic O. Call O. Could it maybe?
Do we have an O first name of
I'm looking.
anybody?
So
I think she's talking about the key card.
Yeah.
Imagico. Yeah, that's one whole thing. It's one whole word, all caps, and it's a company. You did search it. It's
Oh,
a
okay,
company.
okay.
Imagico is the company that makes security locks and security key cards and a couple other plastic products and stuff.
No. I am reading.
Vessel, what's on your mind?
Those 3 weapons I think that were locked up.
From the note?
Yeah.
Mace, stun gun, zip tie.
Mace, stun gun, zip tie, put in Dorchester House. Then raid Medford House and burn.
There's also that line of like making books or something.
Mm-hmm.
Making books in the house.
Didn't Agent Exeter have burn marks on his arm, Fawn?
Yes, I believe I saw
Mhm.
burn marks on his wrist.
Wait.
arm.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
She's freaking out over here.
When we were in Abigail's apartment, Vessel got a crit success roll. He found the walkie-talkie thing. It was the Allied Forces World War II thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
A monotone voice comes through that says, India Moon, Dallin, Exeter, Seer, Demonia.
So proud of you.
Oh.
So proud of you for having that in your notes. Why is India Moon important?
That's our
actually?
mission.
Name.
That's the name of this mission.
So read it
Yeah.
again.
Exeter.
what
So
came
it
through?
says India Moon, Dallin, Exeter, Seer, Demonia, or I don't know if I spelled that right.
It's fine. Timonia. It's fine.
Maybe
So the
What do you
only
mean?
two. So seer is the only one that isn't clear. I mean, we know we've got demons.
Okay. You actually, guys, you guys do
Siri is
seer with an E at the end incorporated.
is a demon.
It's also emblazoned, like you guys, I think I gave you this, but it was like so fast, maybe you didn't pick up on it. But the phone, the satellite phone, was produced by Seer Inc.
Oh, fucking shit.
This is so much fun. I love it when this is like boom, 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 like all this kind of stuff happens.
Album is just gonna like kind of chuckle at hearing all the things that are connecting to each other, and he's just gonna start like doodling and just kind of like talking out loud, but it seems like he's talking to himself. And he draws that symbol that's on that the red book that Chelsea has. I think that's
The yellow sign. You draw the yellow
Yeah.
sign.
Yeah, so he
gosh.
he says, he's like, you guys think it's funny? He's like, how coincidental this is. And he draws the yellow sign, and he's like, you know, our common employer and this sign, he's like, the sign of Delta is a triangle. He's like, and if you flip this symbol around, that's a backwards G with the triangle on it. And Album just kind of throws the pen on the table and just looks at everybody, and he's like, I don't trust this place.
This
Album-
restaurant we just ate here.
It's a Dennis. Album, roll a luck test.
I gotta pull up. There we go. 13. I pass.
Okay.
Ooh.
You see a server about to walk up and coming in your direction, and you manage to like turn the sign upside down and put your hands over top of it as she steps up, and she's like, "Is there anything else I can get you all? You want refills? Anything like that?"
Coffee would be
Cookies,
great.
brother.
Okay, sure, no problem. And she goes off.
Album will crumple the napkin up and put it in his pocket after he's made his point, and he'll say, like, Exeter's immortal. None of this makes any sense, but everything's connected. This is not a coincidence that we're being pulled into this over and over. And Album kind of just like gets up dramatically, of course. And he's like, this isn't going to end until every single one of us is either dead or a part of whatever this bullshit is. And he walks outside.
What you doing, Ashley? You're just like, enhance, enhance.
Melissa, do you remember which demon was the lion and which one was the scribe?
Person was the lion, I thought. The mark of person was the...
Scribe and Lion were written in Portuguese on the napkins.
On the napkins. Yeah, that's where I'm at in my notes.
Yeah, there weren't demon seals or anything on those, though.
Is it...
But
But we had the
some
note
of-
of like face of a lion
Mhm.
yeah,
back from when it was mark of person.
Mhm, mhm,
King of
mhm.
Hell, face of lion. Behest of Baal. Angry Viper, trumpets announce.
Sure. You know, you do have a book called the Hydromanchaea that has
Yeah.
like a list of like all the demons and their signs and stuff like that.
yeah. I need to go get my shit.
I was thinking something and then I lost it with that question. Yes. So,
Oh.
can I see what just had the red paint on it that we were looking at?
It was the card.
Is that the key card?
The key
Yeah.
card.
The only thing that I can think of that had red paint was the... What's it called?
Chelsea finds a bunch of porn. The fuck?
That was your sister.
Oh,
Remember,
yeah.
remember the pictures
When
where
you
you got
went
in the
into
night
the-
floors? Yeah.
Yeah.
You were the only person who went over there. I was just like, someone
Yeah.
go look at the bookshelf so I can do this. It's going to be fun.
If Fawn walked by, like,
Everybody woke. I know, fun. I was like, Melissa, just look at the damn bookshelf.
so the fire in the house painting had red carpeting or red flooring in that painting.
You're talking about Thomas Manuel's painting?
Yeah.
Okay.
The ones in the basement. I think that had red.
I hear a dog moving.
She's been pacing for a little bit now.
Mm-hmm. She's like, guys, can't you put it together?
What? What are we missing?
I'm not saying you guys are missing anything. It's like, what would you guys do next? So basically this time you spent going over with all four of you contributing probably took like 2 to 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean it's still 2 o'clock.
Did the
in
mace stun
afternoon.
gun zip tie mean anything to you, Vessel?
They're just weapons.
No, they're just weapons.
Yeah. But what do you guys want to do? I mean, like, what's your next mode of action? Like, what do you guys want to do next? Friday. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we'll say, something like that.
After Album stormed outside, he's gonna call Dr. Dallin using the business card.
Yeah. You'll phone rings. Someone else picks up. They connect you. Dr. Dallin gets on the phone. Agent Album, what can I do for you?
Random question, but hopefully your memory is pretty good. I'm just curious, is there anything interesting that happened to you on July 8th this year? Any interesting like situation or
July 8th.
something that stands out? Maybe even around 9 in the morning or in the evening?
Let me pull up my calendar here. Give me one moment. He says, we are both, I'm looking up my calendar as well. What's this regarding?
Just found an interesting pamphlet that had July 8th written on it, and it said Dr. D, and you're the only Dr. D I know.
I'm reading to see if there's something I can give you. If you want to stall for a minute while I'm looking into this.
Yeah.
It's a pretty. Did you write down the message or the note? Can you just paste it in chat so I can read it?
In Discord, yeah.
Or even like in
The-
public chat?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Like all of the stuff that we got from
Not
handwriting
just
A
the
sample?
note, like the Dr. D and.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys through it? No, nothing stands out. Like morning rounds, some group therapy, afternoon rounds, went home usual time. No, there's nothing in my schedule, and I don't recall anything. Is there a specific incident that you're referring to?
No, I was just hoping you could clarify for me. It was just a pamphlet that we picked up a bunch of pamphlets for the different things you guys have at the hospital.
Sure.
And it just said Dr. D, July 8th, and I wasn't sure how that got there. So I was just curious if it meant anything to you.
We have people visit sometimes, so perhaps it was a family visit. My name's frequently used interchangeably with Dorchester, so it's possible someone was visiting. Maybe I couldn't think of any other reason.
Okay. And one other random thing. Has there
course.
ever been weapons confiscated recently in the Dorchester house? Like any mace or like zip ties or any, kind of easily hideable things?
Oh, nothing that professional. Occasionally, of course, we do find some ad hoc weaponry, someone making a shiv or a club of something like that. But no, nothing mace related. No, it's possible some of our nurses or orderlies carry mace, but if they do, of course, they keep it in their locker. No one can, as you know, can bring weapons throughout the facility. Zip ties. Perhaps we have some in the kitchen area for tossing away trash. But if you're talking about professional, like handcuff zip ties, no, of course not. Our restraints, those are a little painful, so our restraints are normally are leather or cloth in some fashion when we're forced to use them.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time, and I'll let you get back to work.
Oh, of course, thank you. Let me know if there's anything else you need. And he hangs up the phone.
Album will walk back inside and sit back at the table and just tell everybody Dallon's a dead end with the notes that we found. Or he's not willing to give information.
Sure.
I wouldn't trust Dallin as far as we can throw him at this point.
But you can't throw him very far. Oh, I get it. So you don't trust him much. Got it.
Can you just do a general Google search of Dallin July 8?
If you're looking for those two things, no, nothing pops.
It specifically put in DH. Okay. What the fuck does that mean?
In Dorchester House.
That's our assumption. So do we think that we want to go back to Dorchester, or do we think that we want to try to scope out Exeter?
We blew up Dorchester.
That was McAllister.
Dorchester
Sorry,
is
I
the
mean-
psychiatric facility.
Yeah. Sorry.
Album coughs out I mean, that was Mac last. We didn't blow up anything.
That was Ashley, not Chelsea.
Oh.
No. We'll see. Oh no.
The feds roll up. We caught you. It's a
Right.
bug in your
the
coffee.
Brownstone bombers, get them. Okay.
Because we have a key card that is now that we think is for military and medical facilities, so we may have a Dorchester key card. And we obviously have a lot of reasons to try to scope out Exeter. I almost, and I don't know anything about them, but I almost want to buy a drone so that we can
Album already has a drone.
I don't know if we made a connection, but
With
the
a-
red paint on the card could be the same red paint that was on the room for the message.
Oh. Like that wrote the Abigail, right?
It's possible.
Yeah.
Oh.
But
I
yeah,
was assuming it was blood.
At the mention of a drone, Album's like, yeah, it's how I survey my property that I live on. And he gets really awkward when he realizes he slips and says that.
Maybe we can drone surveillance Exeter's place instead of trying to find another car to awkwardly park in the street out front.
That would be the smart way to take it. It's the quietest one I could
Definitely,
buy
yeah.
on the market.
Okay. So you're planning to go surveil Exeter? Okay.
And I also want to do some Googling to see if Marbus has if the lore around Marbus includes a female.
Includes a what?
A female?
Okay. So you don't have the book anymore. So go ahead and I would say, go ahead. You have a cult. What's your occult at again?
70.
Okay, yeah. Let's see. These random asks that I have to remember my notes on. 1 second. Let's see. Marbus is described as okay. Marbus is a demon described as the great president of hell, governing 36 legions of demons. He answers truly on hidden or secret things, causes and heals diseases, teaches mechanical arts, and changes men into other shapes. He is depicted as a great lion that, under the conjurer's request, changes shape into a man.
So there's no mention of like a female assistant or
No.
anything.
Again,
The first
Chelsea had
Yeah.
the
I'm gonna go get my book.
Hydromantia that had every name, every demon.
And the first time we saw the line, it was like a homeless guy.
Yeah. You guys pulled
And
a
now
little. Yep.
when we meet Exeter, he's like looks homeless.
Say that last part again.
Exeter looked homeless or something when we first met him.
Yeah. He was wearing a suit, but it was kind of like rumpled up a bit, and you heard
Smelled
like a
gasoline.
yeah, he smelled like gasoline. You heard like a crinkling every time he walked.
Did we get? Because it was dark when we saw the homeless guy and the horns and all of that kind of stuff at McAllister.
And when you
so
ran out into the street, you didn't see
he
any.
was gone.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't have known black white.
Mm-mm.
We wouldn't have been able.
You
to
didn't
tell.
get that clear.
Who wants to go with me to, not Vessel, probably because
You were uninvited.
Wow.
no, just to the hotel to see if I can get my things if it wasn't taken to the jail, like because they'll recognize you, possibly.
Album will offer to go and says I gotta make a stop along the way anyway.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
That was just me wanting Long to not have more legal trouble.
Okay. So the two of you head over to see if you can recover your things from the hotel where you originally stayed at. Okay. What do Vessel and Fawn do in this intermeeting time?
We'll gather surveillance items.
Okay, so you
Or
go
the-
around,
Yeah.
do some shopping. Fair enough. So you go to the hotel. You go up to the desk, and they immediately recognize you. Like, oh,
Yeah.
it's you. Oh, we are so incredibly sorry, ma'am, for what happened to you. We didn't realize the situation, and I don't know how we got the numbers confused. We gave them the wrong room number. We are so apologetic for getting you in trouble. Whatever.
I just want my things.
Of course. And one moment, and you see her wander off, and she comes back a couple moments later, and she's like wheeling out your suitcase, whatever other odds and ends you might have had. She's like, here, of course, and then she slides a card over, and this here is a special credit card that we give out to certain guests. If you a free year's stay at any of our hotels for what happened. Again, we're so very sorry. So very sorry. She's under an impression that like she gave out the wrong information to the person who was actually in that room, and they pointed it to be you.
Yep. And I will just thank you, and
course,
we're
of
gonna
course.
leave.
Okay. And you leave.
And I'm gonna check when we get in the car and make sure I have all my things.
Yeah. The only thing you're missing is your gun.
Okay, but I have the book.
You do in fact have the book.
Okay.
What do you want to do with it? Beat Album to death with it?
What
I feel like
did
that'd be
we?
the.
Go ahead.
What were you saying, Derek?
No, I was just making a dumb joke. I feel like it'd be the best death for album. The least like chaotic one is being beaten with a book. It would make sense at least.
All right. So, the day's kind of running on. Not a whole lot of light left. Is there anything else that you guys are looking to do? Is there something you were going to do with that book? I know that Vessel and Fawn were going and doing some shopping, collecting some surveillance gear. No problem.
Yeah, so once Album had helped Chelsea get her materials back, he's gonna go back to the Radio Shack. And he's gonna buy an extra battery for the drone in case he needs more than one. And he's also gonna see, because the drone's only got like a regular high definition camera and the night vision, he's gonna see if he can get like a thermal camera that he can somehow hook up to the drone.
Okay. All right. Let's say roll bureaucracy, see if you're able to get these things on fairly short notice and stuff. See, these things are in stock and all that kind of stuff.
Success.
Yeah, absolutely. You're able to collect everything you need. Everything you need, no problem. Vessel, you probably go back to your. I'm not sure if you bring Fawn with you, but maybe you go back to your storage facility and you have some you probably have some stuff there already. So if there's anything in particular that you can think of, we can roll for it. If not, we'll roll for it when the time comes on whether or not you had it, but we'll say you pick up extra supplies, more specific supplies for surveillance.
Sounds good.
Chelsea, was there anything in particular you want to do with the book? Fawn, was there something in particular that you wanted to do either? So think about that. So go, Chelsea.
Melissa, wasn't there a question you had that you wanted me to refer to the book for?
Seeing whether Marbus had a female companion in the lore.
You rolled for that pretty
Again, question's been answered.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was it, I think.
So Chelsea's gonna be a little bit freaked out that we've been finding, like, we found special clothing, we found potentially vessels for divination or conjuration, maybe, possibly. So I want to refer to the book to see if there's more information about the ritual, like what type of ceremonial staff am I looking for?
You very much you already have this. You have the preliminary invocation to the Prime Umatan, which is basically how you summon a demon.
Yeah.
It's a complex ritual. It takes hours. Very elaborate ceremonial preparations, etc., etc. But yeah, you have all the details you need if you were looking to do that.
Okay. I'm not sure I'm ready to do that just yet. Is there any more information I have on Marbus?
So other parts of the ritual, you basically you pray to protective powers in the names of the angels and Yahweh. You draw a Solomonic triangle. You stand in a protective circle in an isolated area, and you recite a specific incantation, followed by announcing the 72 names of the demons and inscribing the seal of a particular demon that you wish to contact. So you have all 72 names. You have all their seals, and then you recite everything you need.
Yeah.
So,
I want to. Can I, now that I have the book, see what demon Vessel was trying to describe that guy had in his spiral notebook?
Cameo? I think we covered
was
that.
Was it Cameo or was it a different one?
Oh, no, he didn't give you a specific one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he didn't have enough detail to get specific ones. Cameo is the one on your business card.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm blanking.
Last call. We'll say all of you eventually, you do some odds and ends, do some shopping, get some gear. You meet back up. Maybe you take one car, maybe you take two. You can figure out the details later. And you head to the Medford neighborhood of Boston to commence surveillance of your handler, Agent Exeter. And we'll go ahead and stop there, and we'll pick up on that surveillance with our next session. Okay.
Handlers, so we say.
That's what we're called. We're handlers. All right. So go ahead and do your rolls for any failed skills you might have had. So go ahead and do those. Add your oh boy, look at all these fours come. Oh, a 3. That's solid. It's respectable. And so why they do that, I'll tell you about other things that we're doing. We are we stream mostly on Mondays, Fridays, Saturdays. Mondays we do Things from the Flood, so that's what you're going to see on this coming Monday, and then following Monday we'll be doing Aliens. We kind of alternate between the two. Fridays, look at all these 4s. You guys are cheaters. Fridays we do Delta Green, so come back next week for more Delta Green. Saturdays we normally do Worlds Without Number, but tomorrow we will not be streaming. We're off for the holiday weekend here in the U.S. But you can catch Melissa and I tomorrow over on the Defenders of Cobalt during the day as we're playing Forbidden Lands, and you can catch me on Steam Still Murder Sunday night as I'm continuing this long Shadowrun campaign that Bert's over at Steam Still Murder has been running for us, and then come back here on Monday, and you can go ahead and watch us play some Things from the Flood. As we're getting pretty close to the end, there's an outside chance that we finish up our Things from the Flood run on Monday, and so we'll figure out that point. Otherwise, that's it for us. Let's see if there's anybody up. We'll probably go ahead and do a little raid on somebody here.
Lots of channel points got one in the raid, and it would have turned out like this either way. Even if I hadn't spent the WP, my sanity still ended up higher than my alertness.
Was it a close race?
Yeah, it was either 33 or 34, depending on whether or not I had spent the WP, to 32.
Oh
So,
man.
and I didn't do any alertness, so I didn't get a chance to increase it this time.
All right, so I just started up a raid. We're going to go ahead and raid our friends or defenders as they're playing some basic fantasy RPGs. So just hang tight for that. I'll throw us on the end screen here while that happens. But just hang tight. We'll bring you over, and you can watch more tabletop stuff on a Friday night. So good night, everybody.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the bits.
Bye.
Thanks for the new follows. We really do appreciate it. So bye-bye.